We lived in another country for 3 years, and when we moved back, we decided to move somewhere new, rather than where we were originally from. This meant having to develop a new social network. We were finally financially stable enough to live in a really nice neighborhood, and so we did just that. The problem with this neighborhood, though, is that most of the people suck. Real snooty and either keep to themselves or keep very tight cliques. Socially, this place is hard to crack. So, the wife is constantly on me, the social one, to make us some friends, and it was really becoming a point of contention for us. We were bored. Not only that, we were fighting about small things all the time, and things were just getting uglier and uglier. So one day, last August, we are at the neighborhood pool and I decide I'm going to meet as many people as I can and see if anything sticks. I meet a few couples and tell them our story and invite them to a barbecue the next weekend. A few came over, and one couple, in particular, we really hit it off with. We end up all staying up until 2 a.m. drinking on the patio. Great. I made us some friends. And we became fast friends, hanging out every weekend. Our kids were great together. We even took a mini vacation to the ocean with them after a couple of months hanging out. Things were great. Or so I thought. Well, like my wife, shy, introverted and pretty socially awkward from time to time, the guy in their relationship, let's just call him John, was very similar, but his wife was a lot like me, extroverted and very social, and not nearly as douchey as her other half. So I start to notice that John is becoming more interested in my wife than myself or the group friendship. I just chalk it up to their similar personality types and let it be. Now for that part you all came for. First incident. Fast forward to Christmas time, and we had gotten a babysitter for all of our kids and had a night out for dinner and some good old country western dancing. That is when John took his douchiness to a new level. He wasn't directly trying to pursue my wife, it was almost like he was trying to offer me his. Making weird comments and about how I should dance with her and he won't be offended. I did dance with her, because she was the only one besides myself who could two-step. After a couple of dances he starts in with comments like, "Do you like dancing with her? And it's really weird, but I feel like I move better when I dance with your wife. Do you feel that same with my wife?" And I was like, holy crap, this dude drank too much. Thinking that is all that it was, I brushed it off. After we all got back to my house to relieve the babysitter, things got even weirder. Everyone was good and buzzed. We were all hanging out, Christmas tree aglow. The wives end up falling half asleep on the couch. Yes, it's a huge couch, bought in Europe, and can fit many people. I step away, probably to the bathroom, and I come back to see John trying to squeeze in and spoon behind my wife. I'm like, what the hell, dude? And he's like, let's see if she notices. Tipsy as I was like, alright dude, let's see how you like it, and I pull the same thing. Well, nobody made a big deal and it went on for a few minutes, then my brain kicked in and I realized this isn't normal at all. I look over and I see John trying to dry hump, fully clothed, what I can only assume is his remarkably small pecker to my wife's rear. I was originally thinking this was going to be a game or joke, but now things got real. I guess he was thinking we were about to swap. But no, that ended quickly. I jumped up and he quickly realized he'd gone too far. I told him to get his kid and get the hell out. The next day rolls around and I get a one-line text from him saying sorry, things got weird. I was like, nah, I'm not even going to respond. A few more days pass and then I get the big long text about how messed up he was and how he went too far and it would never happen again and how our group friendship means too much to the both of them to ruin over one night. I wait another day or so and I can see that my wife is upset that this situation happened and she doesn't want to let the friendship die either. So, I respond to his text, but I laid out ground rules. Keep your hands off my wife, don't be a jerk, respect my marriage even when you're tipsy, respect your own wife. He responds and agrees and apologized one more time and assured me it wouldn't happen again. They take off for a week for Christmas to see family and I'm glad I don't have to face the awkwardness for a while. It continues through text. Second incident, so my brother lives about 2 hours away and we decide we're going to go visit his family for Christmas Day. Unlike my neighborhood, his is awesome. Tons of people come over to his house from the neighborhood and we are all having a great garage Christmas night party. I notice my wife disengaged, but that isn't out of the norm, she doesn't love big groups of people. She's just sitting off to the side on her phone. I asked what was up and she just says Pinterest or something. I trust her. Later in the night when she isn't around her phone I see a text come in. Guess from who? John. It was a punctuation mark, that's all. I asked her about it, she's like, I don't know. So I ask why they are texting together and not in the group text like we always have. She says they aren't, and it was some mistake. A couple of weeks later all had seemed to calm down. After we had them over one night my wife had left her phone hooked up to the stereo in the garage and I was cleaning things up. I hear the text come through the speaker and again, a punctuation mark. I've seen this before. I contemplate for a few minutes and I return a smiley face text just to see what happens. Smiley face comes back. Now I am agitated and I am figuring out this is how he is checking to see if she is available to talk. I wonder how many stupid punctuation texts have happened that I didn't know about. I didn't even delete it, I just left it on her phone so she might realize that I am onto their game. But everything had been deleted by her, so proving anything was going on was next to impossible. Nearing the end, third incident, now that I am onto something going on, I am not my normal, awesome self. I'm actually turning into the type of accusatory, insecure type of person I really don't like that much. We hang out a few times over the next few weeks and the weekend of the Super Bowl, I have heard a crap load of denying and excuses and explanations about how our problems are in the marriage and nothing is going on. I somehow fall for it and decide to not be a goober and believe, somehow, that I've been making way too big a deal. I try to be the good guy and I decide to take my wife out on a date, start getting things back on track. Drinks, dinner and a movie. Wife has the idea to invite John and his wife and I reluctantly agree. We are at a bar and having a good old time. Drinks help me forget my anger about the situation that she has me convinced I made up. So we get carried away and some other friends text and say they are just down the way at a different bar. We decide to skip the movie and go meet our other friends that are not even a 5-minute drive away. We get there and my wife realizes she doesn't have her ID. Well, we had packed into John's car and he drove us to the new place. So, this is it. This is when it happens. John says, hey, I'll drive you back to the other place and we can get it. I am in conversation with my friends and they just sort of step away, for probably half an hour to 45 minutes. I am trying to keep it cool as the night went on. John is trying to stay up and hang out even though his wife wasn't feeling well. So we dropped her off at her house and head to mine, again relieve the sitter. These two can tell I'm not feeling this at all and we decide to call it. My wife goes in the house to get his baby out of the crib and says, I'm just going to jump in the car and ride home with John, so he doesn't have to wake her by putting her in the car seat. I don't let it happen. I think I stopped it. But I didn't. Whatever happened when they went to get the ID. The next day is the Super Bowl. One of my favorite days of the year. I can barely look at her, but I still can't prove anything. She is getting pissy at me and is basically screaming that nothing happened. The next day I was screwing around with my phone and I realized that since we have the same iTunes account, I can turn her texts on my phone. Where I work I get really bad reception. So, I do this, and she and I email argue most of the day. She is a very convincing liar. I am starting to feel like a crazy person because nothing comes through on text that day. That is, until I am leaving work at the end of the day. My phone all of a sudden gets all of the texts from the day. It was 59. Lots of lovey-dovey crap. Lots of does your husband know anything? Lots of maybe we should take a break. That kind of crap, but because it hit all at once, the order of the texts were completely out of whack. I take the kids to a friend's house when I get home from work and I give her one last chance to tell me if anything was going on. She lies. I ask when is the last time you spoke to John? She says when we saw them Saturday. I show her my phone. She is caught. I decide that these two have been putting me through hell, so a group text is in order for all four of us. I write something to the effect of hey guys, my wife is cheating on me. John's wife is very concerned and asks if I need to talk. I told her no, but if she wants more details, just to ask her husband. It was with him. She won't go into details about what happened. I don't know how far they went. But she did admit they became physical, as if the emotional affair wasn't enough. I guess she knows that if I knew everything, there is not chance I'd stay. Aftermath. I am still at home and this was a few months ago. I struggle with leaving because I'm the stable-minded one of the parents and I fear how breaking up the home will affect my kids. I've put in a lot of work and effort to build my family and get us to where we are and I hate the thought of breaking that up. I can't look at her in the eyes though, not with the same love and respect I once had for her. But only getting my kids half of the time seems like it would be harder for me. I have figured out that my wife and John have been in contact at least a couple of times since this happened. But now my wife acts like she knows she messed up and doesn't want to lose me. She finally admitted that she deals with depression and anxiety, is now on medication, but she still continues to make wrong choices in our marriage. I don't hate her. I hate what she did. I've lost so much respect for her, and I have some level of love because we have a family, but I don't think it'll be the same ever. Oh, and I have always been anti-divorce, but now that it is not all sunshine and rainbows, I'm trying to see if I'm able to reconsider. Thanks for those of you that read this. I know, way too long. Here's the question. What do you think I should do? Stay or leave? For those who have been through this and stayed, I would love to hear how you got through it. Oh, and I'll add, this isn't supposed to be a poor puppy dog story or woe is me post. I am genuinely looking for advice on a specific issue dealing with a problem that will have huge consequences for me and my family. Before the first version was deleted, I got some great feedback and thanks to those who commented before. Also from that, I realized that strangers will tell the truth, while friends and family will try to play to feelings. Two very different things. Update, well, she was out of town when this was originally posted. I greatly appreciate all of your words of advice. Now that she is back and the holiday weekend, spent with family, has passed, it is time to address things with her. I have some very strong reasons to believe she's straight again while on her business trip, but haven't confirmed yet. Hope to have a new way forward with my life soon. Again, thank you all for taking the time and giving me several perspectives I haven't thought of. For those of you that see this that are praying people, please say one for me and my family.